The following program, offered by Fox19, includes lawyers licensed in Kentucky. For those lawyers to maintain compliance with the Kentucky Bar Association requirements, the phrase, "This is an advertisement," must appear on the screen. Moore Law is underwritten in the public interest by the Moore Law Firm, a legal professional association. This is Moore Law on Fox19.
Welcome to Moore Law. Today our topic is personal injury. If you've been injured, you need to know what your rights are under the law. If the insurance company's offered you a settlement, should you accept it? If there's a time limit for filing your claim, what is it? The phone lines are open. If you've been injured and don't know what to do, please give us a call, 513-421-4691. 513-421-4691. So here's what's coming up on our upcoming dockets. On May 7th, we've got divorce and child custody. On May 14th, it's kids in trouble. On May 21st, it's hurt on the job. Now I'm not your normal center of the desk host. I'm usually your attorney host. I'm Don Moore. Deb Haas is a little under the weather today, so I'm taking the daunting task of filling in for her. And I brought up some reinforcements, some special reinforcements today. I've got Dan Moore with me. Dan's been practicing personal injury law for about 8 years. Dan, welcome.
Yeah, great to be back. This is a fun opportunity this morning. We have with us a very special guest that's very special to both Dad and I. It's my grandpa. He was an insurance adjuster way back when he was in in undergrad. He was an insurance adjuster in law school. He graduated law school in 1963 from Chase, and he's here with us today to share this experience and hopefully help some people out.
Welcome, Dan.
Thank you very much.
And you went to Chase, is that right?
That's correct.
And what year did you graduate?
1963.
I actually think we have a picture. Yeah, there it is on the monitor now. You haven't changed a bit.
Oh, I'm sure I haven't.
Now,
but that's my brother Dave. He
right?
also graduated with me. Now, wait a minute.
That's right.
Straighten it out.
We actually had you and your brother graduated in 1963, is that right?
We graduated together.
Okay.
This is a continuing problem with our family. We all get confused when we graduate and what we're doing, which way we're going.
Okay. And now you handled personal injury cases, investigated them as a claims adjuster before you graduated from law school, right?
That's correct.
And you evaluated cases and basically reached a resolution on cases as your full-time job.
That's correct. I was on the insurance side of it at that point.
That's right.
Later on, it went the other way.
And so you have been practicing, you've been a licensed lawyer for almost 50 years, haven't you?
That's correct.
And Dan's been a licensed lawyer for over 8?
Coming up on 9, yeah.
And for me, 32. So we've got about 90 years almost experience up here, and we're here to answer your questions. And I understand that we've got Troy on the line right now from Kentucky. Troy, tell us about your problem.
I got hurt on the job, and I just received in the mail, I guess, an offer says for permanent partial disability for 425 weeks at $27.61.
Okay, and Troy, is that Kentucky or is that Ohio?
Kentucky.
Okay. Troy, let me ask you one other question before I give you an answer to that.
Okay.
Specifically, the nature of your injury, was it something that involved a fault of someone else, or was it just an on the job injury?
On the job, that had to have surgery.
Okay. Troy, what you're going to have to do, we have in just a couple of weeks, we have a workers' compensation specialist who's going to be on, and they can answer specifically what Kentucky workers' comp rates would be and whether that's a fair offer or not. What we handle is, and all three of us have handled for, like I said a minute ago, almost 90 years, are injuries where we've made a claim against someone else. In a workers' comp program, that's something very specific, and you're going to have to talk to somebody who does workers' comp in Kentucky. So I wish I could help you more with that, but I think you just need advice. You can either call back in a couple of weeks, or you can talk to an attorney in the interim, somebody that does workers' comp in Kentucky. Okay? All right, best of luck to you. Dad, okay. Dad, we have Tracy in Middletown. Tracy, tell us what you got.
Well, my husband went to the dentist, and after the dentist pulled an abscessed tooth, he ended up in the hospital for 3 days. And the dentist did sue me for his fees, which I refused to pay. And because I had $19,000 in hospital bills, the judge just dismissed, or the lawyer called me and dismissed the suit. So it makes me believe that maybe I have a case against that dentist.
First, Tracy, let me ask you, how long ago was it that this occurred?
It was about a year and a half.
Ooh, that could present a problem. What do you think, Dan?
Well, in medical malpractice cases, well, let me take a step back. You have a dental case, and a dental malpractice case under the law is qualified as a medical malpractice case. I'm assuming first that this is an Ohio case, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you have an Ohio medical malpractice case, and the statute of limitations in Ohio is 1 year. And there are certain things that can extend that statute of limitations, but that statute of limitations is the deadline by which you have to file your case or settle it. And if you don't, it's like the case never existed. So that could be a problem if it was a year and a half ago when that occurred. So that's one issue. Another issue oftentimes with these dental malpractice cases is the fact that they're oftentimes resolved pretty quickly. And with a medical malpractice case, what you need is significant damage to justify pursuing the case because they're so expensive. You have to go out and hire outside experts, and they charge anywhere from $300 to $1,000 an hour. And if you have a case where you just had a tooth pulled or an abscess removed or something like that, you have a case where an expert's going to come in, and what he's going to charge you is going to be pretty quickly exceed what you're going to be able to recover.
Dan, do you have anything to add to that?
The only thing that I could say is that it would depend on how much the medical bills are, and if she is having struggle to pay those bills, she might look for some help there. But what she needs to do is talk to a lawyer about it that handles that sort of thing, as Dan said.
Okay, thank you. Tracy, it sounds like you may have a statute of limitations problem, and as we talked about before, statute of limitations is kind of a drop-dead date, and you've got 1 year on a medical claim, and as Dan said, the dental falls into the medical category. So that's something you're going to have to check out very carefully. You may be out of luck on it, but I think it's worth taking a look at when you've got $19,000 in medical bills. So best of luck on that, Tracy. We're going to need to take a break now, so we'll be back in just a minute.